Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by StrikeForceEnergy.com. Put down the water and grab a fucking drink.
Hey!
Is this Sunday Tattoo Day? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, it's Sunday Fun Day. You know, when you have to work, you have to,
You have to play a little bit. You got to play a little bit.
play a little bit, too. Ross, before they beat me up, I look like a fucking douche canoe out in a river because I'm wearing Jared's headset because I can't talk into my mic when I'm getting tattooed.
No way.
Yes, but I did take the, what is this called, Rich?
The pop filter?
The pop filter. I took that off because it smells like hamburgers and regret.
Oh, God, it does. God, it does.
I feel like me kissing Jared would be the worst, like metaphorically, but touching his lips to where his lip. No, thank you.
He's eating a lot of toilet sandwiches through that mouth.
A lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I wouldn't want to touch it.
No, I would not. Should we tell the audience where Jared is currently right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good when it's Saturday and we're like, yeah, we're going to push the podcast to Sunday. And he's like, well, I'm going to Vegas. Like, what are you going to Vegas for? Well, I don't know. I want to hang out with Randy Couture. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So that's where he is.
Yeah,
Fair
that's
enough.
cool.
That's where he is.
Did you see the fucking Rain Man suite he's in?
No, I
No.
didn't see it.
He's got a goddamn. I'm no bullshit. He has a full pool table inside of his room. I guess Randy's sister works. I'm not going to say which hotel it is. Randy's sister is one of the VIP people in Vegas for hotels, and he's staying in like the fucking Real World suites with somebody from.
Well, no, I think it's Randy's like son's wife, right?
Yeah, sister-in-law.
Whatever that is. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're super cool people, though. He showed me he FaceTimed me this morning and walked me through his hotel, and I was like, Jesus, man, you think that must be like $1,200 a night? How do you afford that?
Insanity. Yeah, he said he got a deal because of Randy, but I said, look, why don't you hook that up for SHOT Show? Get us a fucking 8-room and let's recreate the Real World. You know, we'll shoot that whole goddamn week up there.
Gross.
What?
Gross.
It's just five gentlemen who stop being polite and start being real. Matt is what we're doing.
Do they still do the Real World?
Oh yeah, they do.
So.
Oh yeah, they do. Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, the Real
No
World's
one watches
still going.
it though, do they?
You know, nobody really watches MTV anymore. It's kind of a dying model.
It's like MySpace, right? Where
Yeah.
like at first it was cool for music entertainment, and then you just what is it now? I don't even know.
Well, what happened was they wanted to get rid of all the music, so they fired the executives and brought in the executives of Lifetime.
Really?
Yes. That did not go so well. So all of their shows were, geared towards that type of audience, and it bombed miserably. So now they're going back to the old model, and it might be too late. They brought TRL back, so that's going to be starting soon.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Is Carson Daly going to do it again?
No, it's not Carson. They got some genderless people to do it, to represent today's culture.
Fancy.
Yeah, it's if you look at it, it looks like a brochure for a women's college where it's.
I want to just get a shirt that
races.
says "Being white and straight is so 2010." So 2010.
So 1924.
God, but where your sexuality is just like a jacket. Where you're like, God, I really want to be with the times. I'm gonna suck some penis.
Yeah, no, not anymore at MTV, my man. They're going back. They're going back.
I'm a little amped up right now. He hasn't started sticking a needle in my leg, but Evan made me probably the best cup of coffee I've had since the last time you made me that exact roast.
Yeah, it is good, man. It's a Ethiopian Yirgacheffe. It's super, super legit, if you will.
Wow.
Would you say it's too legit to quit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's too legit to quit it.
Nice.
It is indeed.
You should have seen yesterday. We all went over to Evan's, Ross, for a nice little, his Evan's daughter's birthday party.
Yeah. Birthday party.
4
Yeah.
years old. Yeah.
And he hired a fairy. I didn't know you could. I thought it was going to be a hot gay dude, but it wasn't.
No. Which we did have like at least 15 minutes of fantastic jokes, though, just in the fact, like,
For sure.
just putting us in the scenario where my wife is like, hey, hire us a fairy. And I get on like Backpage and hire a fairy to come over to the house. It's like, oops, wrong one.
Hey, boy.
Hey, guys.
It's time for your sudsy. What?
Could you imagine?
It's funny, though, because, like, I don't have kids, so to me, it's, like, super embarrassing when she walked in, because she's like, hi, I am the fairy. I was like, ooh, who would like that? And all the kids are like, oh, my God. It's like, all right,
it's a different world. You're a good dad, Evan. That's a nice thing.
Yeah, and then Rich and I just drank whiskey, and he was my little fairy for the night.
The kids got violent with her, too. That was hilarious. They started slapping her with lightsaber.
Those are the boys.
Really?
Yeah. The boys, like, they're more interested in, like, how do we kill this fairy? Where the girls are like, oh my god.
They're like, do fairies feel pain?
Yeah.
Right in the
Oh, I have a question, fairy. What's that? Do you bleed? And then it's like they shank her in the fucking bathroom. No.
We're all pretty convinced that the fairy probably went to the strip club after, and that's her second job.
Oh man,
that would be so
But
great.
she was super nice and really,
super
really
nice, really cool. And my daughter was talking about it this morning. Like, she's on cloud 9, dude. So the best $90, like, I think I've spent a lot.
Are you smiling at my leg getting shaved right now, Rich? That's really weird.
It's romantic.
It is. Well, you haven't shaved your leg since you were doing the tour, right? Tour de France.
Yeah, that's
biking a lot.
Yeah, Lance and I were playing with balls, but that's a whole different story.
It's a whole.
One
Can you
ball.
imagine like what Matt would look like on a fucking lightweight bicycle? Just, like,
He'd
trying
be
to get
way
through the
skinnier.
mountains.
I would look skinnier, or just
You'd be way skinnier.
well, it'd be hard. No, but at my current weight, I would just look like
It
an
would
idiot.
it would look funny.
Yeah.
It would look really funny.
But then again, you used to be pretty skinny too. Look at
Yeah.
like photos from just like 2-3 years ago.
Steroids and steak, bro. I'm just kidding. Ross, we do have the one only Will, obviously, from the Drinking Bros live movie.
No
Black
way.
Salt here in Salt Lake City.
That's right.
How'd you
The man, the
get
myth,
Will
the
on a
legend.
Sunday? What'd you guys do? That guy's the best.
He actually works Sundays usually, but he was nice enough to come in the shop today and throw some ink on my leg like a true gentleman.
As far as I could tell, it only took a free meal. Like that's all it took, right?
I gotta do some stuff later.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we won't go into that on the podcast.
It's just mariachi music that I had to play him.
That's not
an
bad.
hour and a half. Yeah.
An hour and a half of mariachi music.
Yeah, that's
Just
his
him?
thing.
What are you getting right now? By the way,
Well, what would you call this, Will? Not a leg sleeve. I guess we're kind of working on it. So I'm filling out my whole shin. He's working on my side of my leg, filling it in.
What are you gonna fill it in with?
Dick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I literally
Hard
gave
dick.
Will, which is awesome because he's so talented and awesome. I just was like, hey, you do what you want in this leg. Let's keep it like maybe a pirate theme, and then whatever the fuck you want to tattoo on me, you tattoo on me.
That's badass.
wow,
and dicks.
that's
Pirates
ballsy.
and dicks.
Pirates
Dude, you gotta
and dicks.
Talk about that country song you showed me earlier. If people don't know that fucking
Yeah,
YouTube video, they gotta
okay.
watch it.
I'll pull it up. I'll pull up the link so everybody will know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's. Did you ever meet that guy? So Ricard Ryan's also on the show. I don't know if he's introduced himself yet.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Hello, Richard.
So
Is that how you talk?
Hello.
Hey,
hello.
what's up?
What's going on, guys?
Hi guys, I'm so white. I am
You are
translucent.
really fucking white.
I
Yeah,
am translucent.
Not even in skin color
Yeah, I'm
necessarily,
allergic
but like
to the sun.
yeah. You have a little ginger in you, don't you?
No, but I sometimes just on Thursday nights.
Oh, you're usually inside of ginger.
Yeah. No, I use SPF Jesus.
yeah.
And for the drinking broettes, if anybody wants to try to date Ricard Ryan, he's single as fuck, and he's been it for a while.
shit.
Whoa,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
shit.
he's
Hit
been
him
single
up.
for a good minute. But if you like really weird fucking people,
Yeah,
you should definitely date Rich.
Have you been divorced?
No, I have not. I haven't had that luxury yet.
No kids.
I can't
No
wait.
kids.
What?
Well, we don't know how many. They're undocumented.
What do you mean? Tell the audience. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, let's
Tell
dig
the
into
audience.
Rich Ryan
Yeah,
a little bit.
let's tell this story.
I don't know legally if I want to get into that.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to get into that.
Well, all right.
Allegedly.
Can we talk about you? You're a sperm donor, right?
Yeah. Was. Was.
But
Yeah.
He only donates to his sock these days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Off balconies.
Right? Huh?
I donated a lot of sperm when they had the project Whores for Heroes. Like, I just fucking came on everybody. We should start that. Whores for Heroes.
Whores for
Are you
Heroes.
having bad thoughts at night? Well, Megan will suck your cock. She'll suck the PTSD right out of you.
Oh, that's great.
Horse for heroes.
So how
That'd
many
be a
kids
huge
would you
hit.
say you have, Richard, out in the world, potentially?
Man, I don't know. A good guess would be 10.
Okay, so look, I really want to dig into this because I've always been curious of people who do this. Are you doing it? Were you doing it for the money, or simply because you want your own seed, your own children out in the world?
No, actually, so damn, we're gonna get real.
Let's do it.
It's a real world.
Yeah,
Full
no.
circle.
So early on, like one of my first girlfriends and I, like pretty much the defining moment in the relationship and where it went south was like her getting an abortion. And that kind of fucked with me for a long time. And whenever I went to LA, I was working probably 7 jobs at the time, and I said I wouldn't do it unless I financially didn't need to. And so I was making really good money. I was working construction from like 5 in the morning to 3:30 in the afternoon. I'd bartend from like 4:30 to 10. I had a landscaping business. I was programming, coding, doing demolition and stuff like that on the weekends, on top of doing the YouTube stuff and everything. So I was making a decent amount of money. I was like, all right, now's the time to do it for the right reasons, because I won't be financially incentivized for it. So trying to psychologically right a wrong in my head, I guess.
Interesting. I didn't know it was that deep of a story.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: did they contact you and say, "Hey, we decided to use your sperm for this lady," or how does that work?
Yeah, so there's two types. There's 2 types of donors. You have an open donor and a closed donor. I did the open donor program, which the people who use the service, they generally prefer, because if there's ever any type of medical issues or anything along those lines later on down the road, they can reach out to the donor to find out medical history and things along those lines. So.
I think I would donate sperm only if I could, like, if the girls or the wives, there was a picture of me and it was like competitive, right? So it's like, oh damn, that's the nut I can get up in my puss for this baby.
Yeah.
And be like, yeah, because then I would be like, fuck yeah.
They get like legit, like, you want to talk about discrimination? Like, they're like extremely picky. Like, if you don't fall into a certain criteria as far as height, body fat. They give you an IQ test. They do blood work. They like eye colors, hair color. I mean, they get extremely specific and like, I mean, they put you out, like, they ask for baby photos if you're willing to do that.
No way.
Whoa.
For sure. Yeah.
Damn.
That's
I hope
insane.
your son never donates sperm when he's way older, because he's the cutest boy kid out there in the world, Ross.
Yeah.
He's gonna steal all the women's hearts.
I make a good baby, and
You do.
I've been offered.
Are you guys gonna make another one? You're gonna put another one in the oven?
Yeah, we're trying. We're going. For
really?
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Holy crap, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where, I think we've been trying for maybe I want to say like the last 3 or 4 months, and
Well, if you need help, Rich has got some samples, man.
Yeah, hook you up.
no, I'm
For
pretty
the cheap.
I'm pretty good, Richard. I'm pretty good at it.
We could send some ropes to JT.
Ugh.
Ropograms.
God. Let's just start mailing Jared's semen samples, and it just says like Matt or Rich on it, and it's just a cup full of semen.
Ropes for Jared. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
But like,
Ropes-
but you didn't
ropes
pour it into
for
that
Jared.
cup. You try to like ejaculate in that cup, so there's probably a little crust on the outside for him to really figure out how to throw that away.
Oh,
That
God.
fucking weird fuck would probably take a turkey baster and put it in another girl and be like, "Congrats, Matt, you're a dad." Like, you
Oh, man.
got you. It's a prank. I'm like, what the fuck?
Long-term game.
Ugh.
Yeah,
savage.
There's nothing like that long-term game.
Mm-mm.
But we got
So
a big show today. Should we get to the sponsors? You guys cool with that?
Before I'll put it out, so it's the Ben Show, and it's eating pussy and kicking ass. So
For the YouTube.
YouTube comment that we were making earlier. I just wanted to make sure that we had it right.
Yeah,
it's
eating
a
pussy,
country
kicking ass.
song that we were playing earlier, right before we walked in here. We were all pretty happy with it. It's several years old, but it's super fucking funny.
I liked it before the turn.
Is Ben still is he a real country singer or?
No, dude, it was a sketch comedy show
Comedy
on
Central.
Comedy Central.
Oh, nice.
And it's actually a really funny show. I watched several episodes of it. But that was like one of my favorite skits ever.
Solid
Fucking
one.
great. Yeah.
The Ben Show. I think I remember that actually. Was it that? Was he kind of a tall, thin guy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched that. That only went like 1 year, but I thought that was really fucking funny. It was a really
It
weird
was
show.
super funny. Yeah, it was very, very weird. So I could see why it wouldn't get picked up for another season. Because he definitely pushed some boundaries. It was fucking great. Like, it was great.
That is true. Like, when we find things super funny, it's probably too edgy for like mainstream, media.
Every time. Every single time.
Every time.
All right, we got some sponsors who pay for the shit to be on the air.
Let's do it.
Let's get to them. Let's get cracking. First and foremost, we got StrikeForceEnergy.com. Hey, Will, did Will throw a little Strike Force on that leg to shave you down?
Yeah, he probably did. I think he put Strikeforce in there, so I'm not such a pussy when I get tattooed.
Yeah, it's a nice shaving lotion too. A lot of people don't realize that. It goes right in your bloodstream. They got 4 amazing flavors: original, grape, lemon, and orange. You can buy them by the box, which is $9.95, or you can get a subscription. And they also got a 750 milliliter bottle that sits on your bar top or countertop. You can just boom, boom, pop a couple squirts in and motherfucking go. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com, kick the can. You don't need the can anymore. It's a tasty, tiny little tin pouch, rips open, pours into any liquid available. Type in the promo code Drinkin' Bros for 20% off at StrikeForceEnergy.com. They ship everywhere in the entire world. Next up, we got CarnivoreClub.co. That's a .co. It's that time.
Just so you know, with Carnivore Club, he has made penetration on my leg.
Oh, has he really?
Damn.
He's penetrating me right now.
He's penetrated the meats, huh?
Just a little bit of meat like Carnivore Club. I could go for a fucking salami right now.
Boy,
Probably
could
get
I
the
ever.
endorphins going.
I know. I was looking for some last night, and I checked the mailbox super late. Well, it wasn't there. I think it's supposed to come next week. CarnivoreClub.co is where you go to get that dude in your life that you're not sure how to shop for. The best Christmas gift he's had in his entire life. Get him a fucking box of meat. They scour the earth looking for the finest handcrafted artisans who come up with the best meats on the planet. You can choose 4 to 6. They put it in an unbelievable box, and they deliver that shit rain, shine, or motherfucking snow. Right now, there's a goddamn blizzard in Buffalo. So if you're in Buffalo, boom, you could have had some meat today, but you didn't fucking order it. Go to CarnivoreClub.co. Pick out 4 to 6 meats. A lot of people ask how much meat's in the box. It's about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds. So you're getting a lot of fucking meat. You could have 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds from Matt one time, or you could enjoy Carnivore Club the entire month. Your call. Your call.
I'm going full month.
Okay.
Full month.
All right, go to CarnivoreClub.co, type in the promo code DrunkSanta for 15% off. Again, the promo code is DrunkSanta for 15% off at CarnivoreClub.co. They've also got a 1 to 12 month subscription that I dig. Next up, we got GhostBed.com. Matt, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for
I
your
was
ghost.
waiting, Ooh, I'm trying to be like somewhat stable here because if you guys make me laugh, we're going to have some fucking crooked lines.
Yeah, you won't be able to do it. Ghostbed.com/Drinkin' Bros is where you go to get the finest mattresses. Saw another Drinkin' Bro yesterday who bought it and was just like, dude, this bed is the best bed I've ever had. I can't fucking believe it. I can't either. I got 2 of those motherfuckers in my house. The pillows are the finest pillows you will ever sleep on. And they've got some type of aloe scent in there, which really fucking lulls you
That's
to
what
sleep.
gets it.
Lavender.
Is it lavender?
That's
Yes,
it.
That's what it is.
I love me some lavender. Don't make fun. I have essential oils at my house, and lavender is my go-to.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Boy, there's nothing like
Really sets the mood
I
for
know.
like a good jack off, because my wife's out of town right now. She's visiting her family before the holidays, and so I set up the candle, the lotion, the lavender essential oils. I put the mirror in front of me, get a good pump on, and then jack off to Richard's face.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Just your face. Your
Yeah.
body's disgusting.
It's awful.
God, that's what keto and overworking looks like.
Yeah. No lifting.
Yeah,
no
zero lifting.
Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin' Bros. Grab a mattress. Type in the promo code Drinkin' Bros for $50 off. When you order it, they got a pay-as-you-go plan too, in case you're a little short on cabbage. And you also get 2 free pillows at ghostbed.com/Drinkin' Bros.
Can you just buy pillows from them? Because I want more pillows.
You
Yeah,
can
you
buy them
can.
on Amazon too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where I bought mine.
Because they're very similar to the ones they sell at Costco, but Ghost Beds are way better. And
know.
they have that scent on them. So
Yeah, that scent really gets me going. Really gets me right in the groin area. Next up, we got warfightertobacco.com. But dude, they really did it. They switched their operations from Dominican Republic to Nicaragua.
Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to do that.
Kikiriki, kikiriki. That's cock-a-doodle-doo in Spanish. Yeah. It's cock-a-doodle-doo in Spanish.
Kitty kit. Cock-a-doodle-doo in Spanish.
Go
fucking
to
stupid.
warfightertobacco.com.
Fuck you, Ross.
They got 4 brand new cigars. They got the Rocco, which is featured. It's big as fuck.
Yeah.
And God damn, I mean, they're just fucking doing it. They're doing it right there. They've also got a store locator around the earth. So if you're looking for a Warfighter tobacco near you, you can go there. And also, if you want to request a store near you, you can go there and fucking type it in and get that request in. There's cigars.
Which you should do even if you don't smoke cigars. I mean, look out for Scott and the boys, man. They're a good group of people.
I know. Yeah. They're fucking rad. And it's a great Christmas gift, actually. So if you're looking for a stocking stuffer for a man, who's not afraid to smoke inside, go to warfightertobacco.com. Get him some cigars. Get him some cigars for Christmas.
Cigars.
They also got some dope teas there. Go to warfightertobacco.com, type in the promo code Drinking Bros for 10% off, and get your fucking smoke on. Last but not least, Evan Hafer. We got Black Rifle Coffee.
I was going to say, you know who doesn't have dope teas because we have the best coffee in the fucking world, Black Rifle Coffee Company.
Well, we've also got some pretty awesome teas.
T-shirts.
I'm a big fan, man.
Well,
T-shirts.
T-shirts.
I'm talking about
tea.
Hey, can I suck your dick for a minute? I ordered that hoodie, that fleece hoodie. God damn it, dude. I haven't taken that off in 3 days. It's been like 40 degrees here, and it's the nicest hoodie of all time. Like, all your apparel is amazing, by the way.
Well, we take pride in it, man. It's like what we want to wear. That's actually that hoodie, the Black Rifle black pullover, is my favorite. I take that to the gym. I refuse to take that thing off.
It's got a nice cut to it.
Yeah. That's why I bought 3 of them, because I have my warm-up one that's all stinky from the gym, and then I got my like work late night hoodie one. It's the tits.
Yeah, I've got. I actually need to bring some in to the office. I think I've accumulated too many at the house. I've got a nice stack of them. I need to actually bring some back in.
Dude, I can't take any more hats because when we do new product development, obviously like the owners and that, we get all the hats that we've designed, and I think I probably have 85 hats right now. It's getting obnoxious.
And they're awesome hats. I can wear a hat literally every different day of the month for how many hats that I have in the house.
Perfect
right
example.
Now.
You have a nice Peacemaker one on today. It is matching your shirt, so you can always color
Black
coordinate.
Rifle. Yeah, I've got a Black Rifle shirt on and a Buffalo Union or Peacemaker hat.
I almost said earlier, you color scheme's on point today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. It's Black Rifle Coffee. The only thing that we're really pushing out is we're at about what I think about 3,000 pounds now, as far as pushing it out to the veteran community, everybody that's deployed and APOs. We've got another 2,000 pounds going out next week, literally next week, and we're about halfway there. Yeah. So halfway to our 10,000 pound objective. It's on point. So we'll have every pound deployed before the end of the year. Our objective is to try to get everything out before Christmas, but if we don't get addresses at donations at blackriflecoffee.com, it actually makes it impossible for us to do that. So we're shipping them out at 100 pounds at a time, typically to the command elements, so company element or above. But if you know somebody and they've got a small unit deployed somewhere, not a problem. We'll box up 50 and throw them out. So
shoot us that information at donations at Black Rifle Coffee, and we'll get it queued up.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, Drinker Bros, for all your support this year, and Merry Christmas to all the soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines that are deployed over the holidays.
You didn't say Coast Guard, but did they deploy?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Maybe
they do. I don't know. Thank you very much for your service. Please have a Merry Christmas, and we hope that Black Rifle Coffee can just make it a little bit better for you.
Boom.
Boom. Boom. I want to start off the show. I saw an interview you did on Fox and Friends, Evan.
Yeah. Well, that was how'd they pronounce my name? Hafer.
Halfer.
Sorry. It was like Ron Halpert.
Halfer. Evan Hafer. It's cool, man. But they still invited us on the show. Evan got on there to talk about Black Rifle, and the trolling progressive comment is still my favorite.
Dude, it was a really fucking funny interview. That's why I wanted to talk about it. It's on everybody's Facebook page. I was dying laughing. I was like, holy shit. I couldn't believe you said that.
What was it?
About the trolling the progressives.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I can't, not to fucking stroke my own dick, but they put like a minute of one of the walkthroughs that we've done together.
Right.
And they bleeped fuck, but they put fuck on Fox News and then shared it on their main Facebook page. And I was like,
2 million views out of all of their videos in the last 30 days. The second most viewed video was like 400,000. So that one.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that when they asked me, they were just kind of asking what it was all about. And I was like, yeah, I'm literally just, hey, this is who we are. I think that the I guess neoliberal portion of our society is a little bit kooky, and it literally was a portion of our marketing is to just troll ridiculousness. And I think everybody listens to the show, they get that. So I wasn't going to hold anything back.
Yeah, it's amazing. Because when I saw it, I was shocked, and like the woman seemed shocked that you were saying it. Like she actually started laughing.
Yeah. They were a little bit surprised. They were like, this is very interesting. But they were also super stoked. They said it was one of the best interviews they'd done in a long time. Richard was there with me, so he got to see it.
We brought a bunch of swag, and everybody was super stoked to come back in the green room.
Yeah,
grab stuff for the holidays and stuff for their family.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we had a good time, man. And honestly, if you're watching Fox News, it typically means that you're probably conservative. So you won't mind us talking a little bit of trash about progressives, really.
No, not at all.
And it is in good fun. Ultimately.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ultimately,
it's
satirical. Like we're that's what our humor base is.
Right.
So, I mean, obviously, there's some truth to our behind it, but fuck it.
Yeah, there is.
No, and I like what you were saying that like you can't speak for the entire veteran community. That there's guys out there who are on both sides of the fence, and we're just trying to do good stuff here.
Well, and I think for us, like. And we get lumped in there sometimes where the entire veteran community will say, well, you guys are speaking for us. Like, dude, we're not speaking for the entire veteran community. We're speaking as veterans that own a company, speaking from our political perspective. Literally, like, and we can sum it up. You guys have heard us say this, like, I don't know how many times, like, you do you, man. Like, we're all about freedom and using every amendment of the Constitution and ultimately, don't forfeit your freedom without just like thinking about it a little bit more introspectively, maybe diving into it a little bit. But, for us, it is you do you,
Well, yeah, and I think the only time we really speak about the whole veteran community is just bringing like awareness to the community and be like, hey, there's still a war going on. There's still dudes deploying. Like, let's not forget about them. Let's make them a part of the active day conversation. That way people participate in people deployed and veterans after they get out and supporting that mission. So, and then, supporting veterans getting tattooed during a podcast.
Yeah. I really enjoy it, and I'm gonna take this opportunity since you are getting tattooed and to ask one political question since everybody's been asking about it. We got Richard Ryan on the show. I know, Richard, you follow politics. Everybody's asking what the guest is going to be for Tuesday for Roy Moore. Who do you got on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I haven't been following Alabama that much, but
you're kidding.
I mean, no.
Why? Why follow it, Ross? It's a fucking ridiculous conversation. It's a ridiculous conversation.
It has been on every single second of every news program for weeks now at this point. And everybody's asking what we think is going to happen. And I was just curious your take on it.
I haven't followed it at all.
You mean who's going to win and what's going to happen?
Yeah, who do you think's going to win?
I think he's going to win. I mean, but I also said that I thought that Hillary was going to win. So my fucking opinion means nothing. I mean, polling data's in, and basically he's probably going to win. So, I mean, what are we going to do? I mean, it's Alabama. I mean, the 5 people in Alabama that are going to be affected by it. Like, that's brutal.
God.
I
do like Alabama, though.
I'm just
they're
joking.
a great band.
I think that it's
we're talking about a state. I just know if you're going to play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle in the band.
I think it's an interesting national conversation. I think that there's probably a lot of truth to what's happening within our society as far as sexual harassment, positions of power. I think that's an accurate statement as far as the last several decades of power, I guess. But I also think there's probably a certain percentage of this that's a witch hunt. And I think that we have to be really honest with this conversation and let the judicial system do its job. Like, we can't just jump to conclusions because a person says that this happened, 20 years ago. I'm not pro or con. I'm just saying, like, as a guy that runs a business that comes into contact with, literally hundreds of people every month, I know that, like, I mind my business really well. And I also know that it's, it definitely puts a spotlight on what's happening in our society. But as a guy that manages over 100 people, and a huge percentage is actually women in the workplace, it also puts you into a frame of mind where you're very protectionist and you make sure that you don't do anything wrong. In all actuality, you swing the pendulum on the other side where you're like, you know what, I don't even want to be in the same room alone with a female that this circumstance could be literally interpreted for anything other than it is. This is a professional business conversation, but I can't have it turned around. Humans are humans, and they're good and bad. And I think that you're going to have a certain portion of the society that's going to jump on the bandwagon and go out there and burn some fucking witches. And, unfortunately, you're going to have some good dudes probably get burned at the stake at this. And you're also going to have some guys that deserve it. The only fear that I have in this national conversation is that it's not taking literally these things as serious as we can, as far as like the sexual exploitation of people, and then people within power taking advantage of it in a very sexual manner. So like the Harvey Weinstein, I mean, the guy's a fucking proven scumbag. Proven. I mean,
yeah.
And I think that's pretty legitimate. But the onesie twosies from like 40 years ago, that is super fucking dangerous, man. Like that is just
I mean, if you try to fire me, I'm just going to say you touched me.
Yeah.
Your dick grabs.
I have touched him. Matt and I have played gay chicken on a couple times, and it's not turned out well for either one of us because we're just very stubborn.
Well, that's the concerning thing, is if it becomes too commonplace, do a lot of people get turned off by it, and they don't take accusations as seriously down the road.
And that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Well, also male business owners. I mean, is it going to make you stop hiring females for the simple fact that one of them could turn and say, "Hey, I was inappropriately harassed at one point." Like, what do you do then?
Dude, I've recorded just about every private conversation I've had with a female employee.
Yeah,
like
you have to
every single time.
And honestly, you can't just say just females. Males do. I mean, like across the board, we've done it in plenty of instances where you're like, "Ooh, not sure if this is going to work out." Like, it's illegal to record in our place of business, and we're gonna make sure someone doesn't fucking fuck us over for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's good for it's good for lawsuits too.
It is, and the nice thing about that is like we video everything. So like we have basically a big archive, which is good and bad for, anybody that works here, which is they know that they can't really pass over some bullshit.
Yeah, 100%.
And, managers know they have to mind their business and be professional. But hey, I hate to do this, but I gotta jump off the podcast. I got another meeting, but let's talk about the caliphate real fast, Ross, before we take off. What was the question that you had for me for that?
For sure. I saw that Iraq declared yesterday that they've ended the war with ISIS and that they've defeated them entirely after 3 years of battle. Is that real?
It's weird that my rap video came out and then ISIS was defeated. I'm just fucking saying
that's what I was saying. Like, I was just thinking
saying.
that. I was like, dude, Matt puts out "fuck ISIS" and all of a sudden they're gone from Iraq.
Fuck ISIS for real.
Yeah.
And the reasoning behind it was in several articles they said that Trump has just unleashed Mattis, so they don't have to go through so much of the bureaucracy and the red tape anymore, and they've been able to bomb away for the last year or so. But you would know more than I, obviously, in this. So I was just curious.
There's a huge amount of truth to that. So the guys in Afghanistan and Iraq both have been very busy in the last year. And I've heard that like for everybody, which is the gloves are off. We are killing
there for a while,
literally tons.
Yeah, the
people.
ROE. I don't know exactly what it was, but if there was advancement of like ISIS or the Caliphate forces, they could do airstrikes. But there were certain instances where there would be like fucking 50 gun trucks chilling, and they're like they can't drop on them, but they're like they're fucking holding up ISIS flags with PKMs and RPGs. They're like, sorry, we can't drop. And then obviously with the new administration, it was a little more like, oh, if we know they're bad, 100%, kill them. Which is the way it fucking should be.
Yeah.
Well,
and I heard that from both air, ground. Like everybody was like, "Oh no, we're doing 10x what we were doing last year, and sometimes more, 100x as far as like ordnance dropped, rounds fired, and they're just doing things a little bit smarter for the Americans, the American warfighter too. I think because they're just dropping a lot of fucking bombs and killing a lot of bad people." and allowing ground forces just kind of clean up the mess. And I think that's great. And they're also allowing more of the indigenous population to take ownership for that fight. So I would completely agree with the last year, at least last year and some change, what's happened in northern Iraq. I mean, obviously it's a Iraq war backed by the Americans, so you still have political issues that you have to work through and cultural issues, but there's no doubt that the success of the Iraqi and the American militaries have kind of pushed ISIS back. I guess the real question is, why the fuck were they there to begin with? That's probably one that we should ask. And then, the next one is well, how do you maintain stability in the region when you have so many civil wars and the destabilization of the region based on a large population, meaning like you've got this massive population, you've got several different tribes, a couple different religions. I don't know if you've heard about it. And then you add the political component to that with outside influence, with weapons and money. Man, the place is just completely destabilized. So now it's how do we move forward? If you've destroyed the caliphate, which, I'm sure there's a lot of people crying in their black robes today if they realize that they're not going to see this resurgence of the Islamic Empire as they thought they would. And now we just have to maintain stability in the region. And that's actually sometimes harder than winning the war, as we've seen. So that's my real question. Now you got to maintain it.
Evan Hafer, 2020.
Yeah, exactly. And can they is the question. Do you think they can?
With American air power, you can do a lot of shit, Ross. We have the single largest and most effective air force in the world. And, you can stabilize a lot of shit with several thousand pounds of explosives coming in on your head each sortie.
I was going to say damn, but yeah, J-damn.
Yeah, damn. J-damn, dog. So, no, I think as long as America has a footprint and the ability to stabilize the region with superior air power, sure. They really have to solve some exterior, outside of the border issues that are going on in Syria. And that's going to take, Russia and China getting involved. And then you've just got conflict all around them, to include in Northern Africa. It's kind of like the whack-a-mole thing where, you hit one and another one comes up somewhere else. So if it's not Iraq, it's going to be somewhere in Northern Africa,
Yeah.
Like let's pull out a fucking country X and say, here we go now.
Like even the Philippines or some shit.
Well, yeah, the Philippines that's on fire. Basically the entire Middle East and Southeast Asia, that's depending on the country. They are completely destabilized. So it's an interesting time to look at foreign policy and kind of look at how we've conducted business over the last decade and a half and how we can change so we're just not fighting an endless fucking war. Is that what we all want? I don't know. I definitely don't want my kids to be fighting in it. I'm pretty sure you don't want your son to be fighting in it. It's just really time to try to come up with some legitimate solutions. And sometimes those legitimate solutions come at the cost of a fuck ton of people and bigger bombs. Like, time to, if you got to take out that dick, we got a pretty big one.
Well, it's just like ISIS and the Caliphate. It's like cancer. The fucking cells start multiplying, and the more powerful it is, you just got to fucking kill it.
You got to kill it.
Put it away.
And war is a disgustingly dirty thing. So it's literally it's nothing that we're going to be comfortable with anytime soon, and it's really nothing that as a society that we're going to be able to go, oh, okay, I'm super happy with what's going on, and you're killing people. Like, at the end of the day, you're killing people. So the comfort level for killing people is never going to go up. So I always say there's no time like now to solve those hard problems. You got to rip that Band-Aid off, right, Rich Ryan?
You got my vote.
Yeah.
And by the way, before you leave, Evan, Jared's favorite person, Bryan Singer, got popped for fucking underage dudes. I find it odd that Jared has a picture with him at his house.
I don't, that was like an open secret too. Gosh, we heard about that like literally we heard about that when we were in LA. It was like, oh, this guy, what are you kidding me? He has like fluffer kids all around his house, or like,
oh, that's right. When Jared
Jared went and watched a movie with him.
And he said there was like 8 like twink boys. I mean, like in their 20s, just hanging out shirtless. Like, all right.
Yeah,
okay.
That's been going on for 15, 16 years. The fact that Jared was over at the house and took like a really beaming, smiling picture with him leads me to believe that maybe Jared got his dick grabbed, you know?
I think so.
I think he might have. He's not. I doubt he's going to claim PTSD though.
Well, yeah, at least he's a consenting adult. You know,
if you want to grab
keyword
consenting adult.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, if you want to eat that sandwich out of the toilet, Brian, that by all means, like that's a Jared, by all means. Buddy.
Jared could be the one guy though who turns off like any gay guy who's just like, yeah, man, I'm good. I don't want to suck your dick.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good, dog.
I don't want to suck your dick, nor do I want that toilet mouth near me. I will say
again, I had to take off my thing.
Yeah,
it's so gross.
The girl he's in Vegas with is cute though. Right now.
Yeah, fuck yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's cool.
She's from Black Rifle Canada.
Yeah. Jared somehow fucking manages to pull him. It's crazy.
Hey, you know, he's living his childhood dream or his adolescent dream. So
he is.
Dream big.
Dream big, buddy.
Hey, Richard, are you going to pay for Matt's tattoo in Bitcoin? That's my next question.
Oh, man.
Do you take Bitcoin, Will?
That's been so volatile the last couple of weeks, man.
It lost $3,000 on Friday, if I'm not correct, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if you invested in it a month ago, I mean, you're still up 5,000.
It's literally penny stock. I used to trade it. No offense, but fuck
what,
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin? You did?
No, I'm talking pennies. I used to do penny stocks like 4 or 5 years ago. I made about $30,000 off of it, but it's so fucking volatile, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, penny stocks, I mean, generally you like that would be the equivalent of the ICOs right now. There's so many just popping up unregulated right now where people are like, here, invest in this. Here, we'll just print more coins.
Yeah.
And it's just the artificial inflation of it and everything is just super scary. But the big ones like Bitcoin, Ethereum, it's kind of interesting seeing Litecoin jump up to like $180
What's
or whatever.
Litecoin?
So that's it. So in my opinion, like you have to believe first and foremost, any money that you invest in cryptocurrency, that has to be money you're willing to throw away in the garbage.
100%. It's like gambling.
And then the second thing is I feel like you have to believe in the technology, or at least the theory of the technology. And so for me, like I invest in Gollum, which is kind of like what would be Airbnb for GPUs, right? Where you're using other people's GPUs for their processing power. So like a render farm for like Peter Jackson might take 4 months to render a horde scene with all the AI and the different orcs and stuff like that. Well, you could do it in like 5 minutes using Gollum. And so Litecoin, though, it being one of the 3 cryptocurrencies on Coinbase, which is the largest exchange right now because it's so easy. You just you go download the app and you connect it to your bank account and you can start trading currencies. And with Bitcoin being $10,000, people psychologically, I want a coin. I don't want 1,000th of a coin.
Right.
So Litecoin being as cheap as it was, I had a lot of friends who when I was telling them about Ethereum and the technology and the secure contracts and things along those lines, are like, yeah, okay, I'll buy into Ethereum. It was like around $150 at the time, but most of them invested in Litecoin. They don't know shit about the technology. It's just they could have like a dozen coins.
Yeah, like I got 12.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And now I look at it and I see, psychologically speaking, that's probably what the bulk majority of Coinbase users are doing. They probably don't know fuck all about the technology. They just want multiple coins.
Yeah, it's the perception of wealth almost.
Yeah. And so it's really interesting seeing that go up. I think it was like something stupid like 6,000% growth in the last year. I mean, it's like, okay, it's kind of scary now at this
point.
That's
why I don't make fun of you, but that's why I don't do the Bitcoin shit, because I don't have the time to invest in the knowledge of it.
Same.
And so I'm not going to blindly just be like, here's $10,000 fucking dollars throw it in the wind and see what happens. I can find better ways to spend that money.
But you have to go back to the first two. Like, it's like you have to be willing to invest like only the amount of money you feel comfortable losing.
Right.
Because it's unregulated. It's super like volatile right now. And in my opinion, it's like it could be zero tomorrow, and I'm not going to cry about any of the money I've invested over the few years I've been doing it. But it is kind of it's kind of a gut punch when you see it go up to like $20,000 and then drop down to 14. You're like, fuck, I just lost so much money.
Yeah.
But whatever. I never really had it anyways. So
we should develop a gambling app for Jared called Can He Close, and we put the picture up, but like there's not somebody they slept with, and then we put it's dollar bets, and then everybody puts it on there, and then the winning pool gets split.
That'd be great, actually.
It's interesting though. Like I love the whole idea behind the decentralized technologies and things along those lines without key holders, because we have like the YouTube adpocalypse and all that stuff going on where you're at the mercy of this thing that's providing you income. And
were you affected by that, by the way, Richard? Because you have a lot of obviously a lot of guns, and so does Matt. And I heard that was going to be a no coming up in the future.
Yeah, so I have a couple of theories behind that. One is like Google will always have their financial best interest at hand. So if you can't monetize on a video, they may penalize you algorithmically as far as search is concerned. But that's why I embraced Black Rifle wholeheartedly, because I don't want to be at the mercy of some advertiser who is dictating whether or not my content is deemed PC or not.
Right.
I just want to be me. And so, quite frankly, I give zero fucks if YouTube or whoever doesn't see my content. So I don't even watch, honestly, lately if I'm being
It's funny, I don't even
demonetized.
really go through the monetization of my videos. I obviously always make them, they prompted for it, but then they've demonetized, I think, like 60% of mine, but I'm like, whatever, because luckily we were like, let's invest in building a business and an actual product that's quality, rather than having, like you said, someone filter and dictate what they deem as PC or non-PC, and then how that is actually like, used to get like marketing on there, because that would fucking suck. And I think a lot of YouTubers are feeling that pretty hard, especially
it sucks, man. You sell your soul, and
even algorithmically speaking, like if like how they went to long form content, you're like, cool, but if you were punching out those minute 30s, you have to redefine what you are as a channel to actually even make money.
Yeah, I hate being a personality a lot of times, like where, and that was one of those things where I had that heart to heart with myself. Was like, I was joking, I was gonna do a video where it was gonna kind of clickbait, like me falling off a cliff and you holding on to me or something like that, because
Some cliffhanger shit or what?
That's what I wanted.
Yo, Richard Ryan, I'm not gonna let you fall.
Gabe. No, that's what I was wanting to kind of tell everyone in the videos, that I don't want to be that guy, like, and I know a lot of people out there, and unfortunately they get to these positions where they feel like they have to come up, they have to clickbait, they have to do titles and stuff like that, where it's like you're deceiving people on a regular basis, and you're doing content that is not necessarily what you would want to be doing. And that's why I like the It's Who We Are series that we're doing for Black Rifle and things along those lines. Yeah, it's not gonna get 20 million views or anything like that, like me shooting an iPhone or anything like that. But for me, it's creatively rewarding. And that's what ultimately I want to be doing.
Well, yeah, you're focusing not necessarily on viewership, but substance in the product and in the video and content, which is way more rewarding in my brain. Because like you can always do the stuff like, hey, this is going to get a lot of views, but when you really look at the back end and say, is this piece of content going to convert, or is it just going to look very impressive on the impressions? But it's like, no, something maybe with 500,000 that really divulges an epic message about something that you're doing is better than to me than like the 10 million views, where it's bleeding over into so many different demographics that are viewing it based off of clickbait or politicizing content. Yeah. It's just like the 500K viewers are going to be the people that go, I support this message and I want to be about this.
Well, it gets back to what you're talking about, right? Where it's like, without boring everyone, the reason why you see more longer form content on YouTube is because the algorithm shifted to watch time instead of clicks,
yeah.
And so people started making longer form videos, more vlog style content, and incorporating their personalities and things along those lines, which is great. I mean, you get some stars out of it and everything, but for me, it was just one of those things where it's like, I'm still going to shoot iPhones. I love doing that. I mean, I love creating shape charges.
Wasting money,
just
love wasting
hemorrhaging. But like some of the shit that I did was a lot of fun. Like, with the shape charges, explosions, and stuff like that. Still going to do it. It's just I'm not going to feel pressured into just rushing out content every single week or whatever it is. I'm going to wait and I'm going to do some like pretty epic shit, and I'll do it on my time.
Yeah, and I think that's something like to be put out too, is because people are always like, make a new video, even on my side, and I went 3 months, which I think is the longest time I went without making a video. But ultimately, I don't think people know that like we're behind the scenes directing a lot of all of it, pretty much the Black Rifle content and putting stuff out and on different mediums. Whereas I'm not going to just throw something on my page that I'm not happy with, because I'm super reluctant to be like, here's a piece of shit. I mean, granted, it's very subjective of whether one piece of content's good or bad, but
you know what? And I'm going to play devil's advocate now. It's like, so as a fan, if I elect to follow you or subscribe to me or something along those lines, it's like, well, I want to see your shit.
Right. There's an expectation of an output for sure, but ultimately that it's a free platform, so there's not like.
But that's it. So
right.
how do we figure that out? It's like, maybe it's creating like a Patreon or something like that, so we can hire a shooter or editor to help keep that shit going and things along those lines. I don't know what the answers are, but I just go back and forth on it all the time.
Well, 100%. And then as your workload definitely increases on different avenues of your life, it's like, okay, we have to play executives, for 12 hours a day, and then it's like that creative juice is just sucked out of you like fucking Jared with a fucking toilet sandwich.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I figured I'd make a joke. We're going a little.
We got real.
Yeah.
No. Look, it's a fascinating conversation, and like between. It's not often on a show that between two guys you have two of the biggest channels on YouTube, and I find that whole world fascinating because a lot of people look
in our community, not YouTube. There's some fucking power hitters out there.
Correct. In your community. I
will say that too. Go ahead.
Well, the reason why I ask this and bring all of this up is there's a lot of people at home who hit up the show and email the podcast and say, hey, I want to make videos like Matt and Richard do. I don't think everybody understands what the back end of that is and what kind of money's there and, all the other shit you guys go through to make these videos.
Well, yeah, there's a lot on the production side for sure, but honestly, I think that the most valuable thing is the ideation, right? If you don't have a good idea, you don't have a good story, it's going to be shit. And and like even the skit writing and all of that, like it's a pretty brutal process, especially like we don't have a team. It's literally the writers of most of our shows are, some Maker's Mark or Lead Slinger's whiskey in her cup sitting in their Washington room, making jokes to each other. And like that would be a fucking cool idea. And then just putting pen to paper and going through the production cycle.
And what about you, Richard? What's your process?
Well, from the whole production aspect of it, it's in the past, the financial aspect of it kind of dictated a lot of it too, right? Where it's like, okay, I try to balance scalability and temp poles, and so I would give myself like, I think one of the only videos I ever deleted from my channel back in the day was for Ghost Recon Future Soldier, where Ubisoft, Tom Clancy, paid me to essentially develop drones to drop bombs to detonate at proximity. And I
really
spent 4 months, working with an engineer and different programmers and stuff like that. Never really like telling everybody the full picture as what we were doing and everything. And we pulled it off. It was great, but I mean, it was like 17-hour days. But then I was having to supplement the scalability of it. So I'm doing, shooting an iPhone. Okay, I can do a few of those videos a day, but in the background, I'm working on these temp poles and stuff. So for me, like music is a big thing. I think it is with Matt too. A lot of times I'll spend a couple of hours listening to music and I'll get inspired by something, and then that'll drive the creative narrative for it.
Yeah, I've literally probably done 4 to 5 videos that were solely based on me just like sitting at my computer listening to like, archives of sounds and music that I can get royalties to, and it's like it clicks and you're like, oh man, what if I?
Yeah.
And
so
then,
if you watch the It's Who We Are of Wally, that whole video was based off of Audio Slave's Shadow of the Sun for me. That's how I just went through the storyboard on that in my head. So the music plays a big part in it. But I really don't have a defined process outside of like, okay, I work backwards generally. Like when is my deadline, and then what would my steps be in that process, and then just try to execute.
Gotcha. So kind of similar to films then. I work backwards in the writing process by budget, based on budget, how much you have to spend and what, things would look like in the production side of it. So, yeah, very similar. And
I mean, like, for instance, like when we did the Halloween video for Black Rifle Coffee, like that all came from a room. I think it was Evan's general idea, but it's kind of like, a play off of the Snickers thing where you're kind of a bitch. And that was a joke, like, okay, there's the wife without her coffee, and she turns into like, this murderer chasing the husband across it. And then once you have that general idea, then you're building out, points in the video that you think will be humorous, breaks and beats, and keeping the flow very current so there's no lull in like that viewing process. Because if you look at like analytics and watch times, and you can go through your videos, Ross, and really pinpoint the viewership. It's just like how fucking Pornhub now has it. It's like the cum shot's got the big spike at the end, and then like, it's literally like that. So like if you have 9 minutes of fluff with 2 minutes of viewership, how do you listen to the customer and then use that viewership to compose what your next piece of content is going to be. And kind of what we do with Black Rifle when we, go through all of the KPI reports across the board, kind of listen to the customers, see what they want, and then see if you can make a better version of what's doing great.
Yeah. What's funny is I'm gonna pat myself on the back here. That what you're talking about, the hotspot on Pornhub. So we actually created that in, I think, 2009. I think it was 2009. I worked with a YouTube product team on the creator studio and analytics and developing hotspots. And so the terms of service in Google say that you can't talk about how much money you make, but I'm like the only person that doesn't apply to, because they use my analytics for case studies that they do in presentations. So I actually created YouTube channels based off of that feature. So what we would do is we created hotspots. People would go back and they would look at the slow-mo in my videos, and you'd see that really big hotspot or spike. And so we created dedicated slow-mo channels for that and see how they performed far as SEO was concerned, and they did really well. So that was a case study that we used back and forth for people to create good content.
Yeah, and it's essentially like what we're Dave and I were talking about before we started the show. It's like you have a platform that gives you the full form piece of content, and then you're looking at those spikes, and then you're actually segmenting those spikes, uploading them to maybe a different channel where you can actually, so that when someone goes, oh my God, when the Drinking Bros talked about said subject, they don't have to go back and try to fast forward and find it. It just says, Drinking Bros on pegging or whatever it is, and then there's that 9-minute segment that you're going to be able to view, and all that's coming out very, very soon. Dave's behind the computer, been crushing it for us, so we're excited to roll a bunch of new shit out.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
That's
and
awesome.
Maybe not have a needle in my fucking leg,
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are gonna be able to see Matt just getting tattooed.
And there is no numbing cream, so it's like I'm
yeah, you're
that's an easy
good.
part of the leg,
you're
though.
good. You're drinking whiskey, I'm sure.
I'm actually not. There's some vodka behind me that I kind of wanted to sip on, maybe.
You going sober for this tattoo?
Yeah, again, Ross, my dad didn't raise a fucking pussy, so.
Last time I was in with Will, I killed an entire bottle
put Will
of
on the
Lead
mic and he'll tell different. He'll be like, "You mean when I do his shin bone and he shakes and he's like, no."
Hey, Richard.
You got tatted up, huh?
Yeah. I was there. I drank a fucking entire bottle of Lead Slingers with Will. We watched an entire Netflix series together. American Vandal, which is fucking hilarious, by the way. It was one of my favorites. One of my favorite new shows. Hey, Richard, last question about the YouTube stuff. Is there keywords that do better than everything else that you consistently use?
We don't tell those secrets.
Oh, really?
No. So here's the thing. Like, it's funny. There are so many people who try to game the system.
Yeah, I figured, right?
And so to be brutally honest, if you just go by what is accurate, the algorithm sorts it out, right? So if you put, hypothetically speaking, say we have a video, we're at the range shooting, you could take and put, I don't know, snowboarding as a keyword, right?
Right.
But if that shows up in search and people click on it after searching for snowboarding and it's not applicable or they click off, then YouTube or Google in the background says, hey, look, people are clicking on this after searching for snowboarding, and it's not applicable to them, so they're clicking off really quick. So they actually penalize you for it. So the best practice is being as accurate as you can, as much as you can, but not trying to game the system. So if I put in M16 or M4 or M107A1 and people see me shooting that in slow-mo and they stay in it the entire time, then that will actually show up better in search based off of engagement. So
and there's a pretty robust ranking system when it comes to all of that stuff on like Google and Facebook, and like you can decrease your ranking pretty freaking quick if you're not honest.
Yeah.
And Richard's a stud with that. I'll admit that, Ross. Like even he increased my subscriber like rate almost by like 200%, I think it was.
Jesus.
Just based off going through all my keywords and like getting referenced and all these other things, because he's right in there. You know, I think one time you're like milsim and like operator, and I'm like, dude, I don't want that in my keywords. It's fucking lame, dude. And you're like, but watch. And that's honestly what a lot of people are searching for. Maybe it's like the 16-year-old kid that's into milsim that really wants would love my type of content.
Yeah.
And providing them that in their face, so they're like, wow, I like this. So
that's it. And there's different programming strategies for different platforms, right? And so YouTube would be completely different from that of Facebook, at least for right now. And being able to optimize your videos for search on YouTube is really important, because most people, like you get somebody like Rogan who started doing the clips and the excerpts of the podcast and everything else. It's like, okay, you're really optimizing for search. I guarantee that I would say 90% of his content comes from search or related videos now. So really like oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
whatever say, like you type in Conor McGregor, and then if you scroll down 2 pages, it's like Joe Rogan on Conor McGregor's boxing or MMA match, and it's
library views definitely in search are like at least half of the views for most people. And if you optimize for it, it could be, upwards of 70-80%.
Yeah, the reason why I asked, I was at dinner the other night with a friend of mine, and he's trying to build an Instagram following, right? And he claimed that, if you put in like 10 or 20 hashtags, that people would you would get more views or likes or something by searching hashtags. And I was like, man, I don't think that's right. That doesn't seem right.
Well, it depends. Like I'm not an Instagram expert, but I screw around with it on my personal Instagram from time to time, but in no way, shape, or form am I consistent uploader to it. So I can't really give that as like a best case use. But I found that like occasionally I'll put like a few applicable tags, and again, I think honesty is the best practice. Whereas like if I put
relationships, Richard, you're a fucking faggot.
If I put Maud's dog in the photo, and I hashtag blue healers, or blue healers of IG or whatever it is, it does way better than no hashtags. But if I put something in there like hashtag like operator, it's like nobody like the algorithm will work its way out. I feel like most of these social media platforms are getting way more smart than
they're fucking crazy smart.
And the playbooks that people have had 2 years ago are completely like
to even like talk about the Instagram a little bit, and that's what I've been messing with Instagram a lot lately, and even in the search bar where you
Who's Lacey?
Probably some fucking Instagram model that I stare at her butt. I don't know. But Ross, when you click on like the search button, it gives suggested stuff. And honestly, what you build that out, it's not even if you follow someone, but there'll be a stay time on a photo, right? So if you're scrolling, thumbing, you stop. It actually tracks that wait time on that video and then populates your archive, being like, okay, he stopped on multicams and he's stopping on fitness girls, like that consistently. So it builds that out, and that's why when you really go through your search thing, that's how they give you the content you want. Like there's a reason there's no fucking cupcakes and sprinkles on my fucking search here. It's all like fitness chicks and military themed stuff and all that, because it's obviously my like history and all of that stuff. But
Snapchat has pretty pretty intelligent heat maps and stuff like that too,
Yeah.
as far as engagement and whatnot with the content. It's getting really, really sophisticated. And as an advertiser, it's extremely exciting because it's so intrusive. You find so many ways to work your way. And the thing is like, you know, a lot of people are like, fuck this, and, you know, intrusive fucking advertisement and all this other stuff. But like when you really start advertising to the right people, they generally like appreciate
and convert.
Yeah.
Not even on the marketing side, but the consumer side, when I get stuff put in my face that I'm like, fuck, that's cool. Like ultimately it's up to my personal decision to click purchase, but it's nice to see things like, man, a fucking knife that has a glass break and a dildo on it. This is great.
Yeah.
Because I can buy that for Richard for Christmas.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you will.
Get me one of those Damascus steel ones. That'd be nice.
Ooh, that would be nice.
Steel.
Yeah.
Straight out of Syria.
That'd be great.
Last but not least, we're towards the time of the year. It was a year to the day that Jimmy Long, Brosman of the year, jumped on the field, streaked it, and sprinted across for the Army Navy game. Army won on a last second missed field goal from Navy,
14-13. Yeah.
but I got a quick question for you here. I think. You know, we're down to the end of the year here. We're picking the Brosman. I think it's down to 2, and I'm curious as to your thoughts, Matt. My 2 are the pilots who drew the dick in the sky, or the guy who jumped the counter at Waffle House and made his own meal.
Oh man! But are either of them drinking bros?
Well, here's the thing. So I had the guy who did the Waffle House thing on Ross Patterson Revolution. He came on and he said. He was not a drinking bro, but he got invited to afterwards. He joined, and it turned out he was ex-military.
Oh, damn. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, shit. And so I had a nice chat with him. He's in the drinking bros now. His name is Alex Bowen. He's all in. The pilot, I don't know if they've named yet. But I
mean, that pilot stunt was pretty freaking sweet to like go through the due diligence and the thought process to be like, how do I draw a dick? What is that called? Afterburner? I don't even know what the fuck that shit is in the sky. The moisture, whatever.
Yeah, so
super impressive though.
I think to listeners at home, I think it's down to those 2, and then let us know who you think. I think I lean with the pilot too because that was ballsy, pun intended.
Oh, he did draw balls.
Nailed it. Yeah, he did. He didn't just stop at a dick. Like, he had balls to it, which is, you forget the balls, you forget the whole package itself.
That's not being true to it, Like, what's a vagina without a clit? That's just a warm, wet hole.
You get those anywhere.
You can get those. You can get a warm, wet hole anywhere, right?
You really
fucking
can.
You throw a squash in the microwave for 30 seconds. That's a warm, wet hole.
Oh, it's great.
You know what I'm saying, Will?
It's a great time. You know what you can't get anywhere?
Keto.
You know what you can't get anywhere is the drinking bro of the week. You can only get that
Segway Sally.
a couple times a week. This one was submitted by Jeffrey Wasco. That's a nice name, Wasko. Not sure if this is how I do this, guys. It is. But I'd like to nominate Bob Clusty for Drinking Bro of the Week. On November 30th, around 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Bob lost his life in his battle against brain cancer. He was one of the nicest people you could ever meet. He's a hardworking family and took in his stepchildren as his own. Bob is never seen without a smile on his face, even when fighting the good fights. Cheers, everybody. I appreciate you guys talking about him on the show.
Yeah, cheers, man.
Cheers, Jeffrey. Sorry, man, but we appreciate the dedication. And yes, that is where you can send in Drinking Bro of the Week. Go to our Facebook page at Drinking Bros Podcast on Facebook and submit in our messages. And that's where we do the Drinking Bro of the Week. Richard Ryan, appreciate you being on the show today.
Thank you, sir.
Evan just had to bounce out, He's got that CEO stuff.
No, look, it's always fun talking to you, Richard. Will XX, I know you're not on the mic, but man, I love your work, and I'll be back in Salt Lake City at the end of January, so keep a slot open.
Yeah, if you guys want to see how epic Will is as an artist, it's kind of fucking ridiculous, but check out WILL_XX, right? On Instagram. He's done Ross's work. He's
done Matt's,
Evan. Tattoos me. The large majority of the Black Rifle office. Just all around awesome dude. An Army veteran himself.
And he's in the, if you want to see his work and see him, he's in the Drinking Bros Live movie, which is now available on all platforms: iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, you name it, it is out there.
Nice little sneak attack in
Fucking
there,
Ross the salesman.
Yeah.
Look, why not? Why not? And I'll give one Rostradamus prediction for Tuesday, since everybody's been asking. I got Roy Moore 50-48. Not amped about it, but I think it's going to be 50-48, and I think he will be the next senator in the election on Tuesday. For Matt Best, Richard Ryan, Will XX, I'm Ross Patterson. Good night, everybody.
Later, guys.